get this connected over here to the internet. What's the problem? There he is. There's my guy. There's my AV guy. He's like in high school.
No.
Who was it in AV in high school?
Next person who asked me what Max is getting knocked out.
Yeah. All right. There's someone. Yeah. No, not yet, but soon.
I did it without Kevin.
What do we need?
YouTube. And then look up Tom Billiou. We can, not yet, but we will. There's someone amongst us that just asked, "What's Moxie?"
It wasn't me, I swear.
It wasn't me, I'll tell you that much.
And so, if you don't know what Moxie is, 1 o'clock there is a class that we're going to be working with you. And as we said before, we will work with you individually. I know a lot of people have been traveling to Mexico and going to just traveling and get tied up, but we want to make sure that you guys are fully engaged in Moxie and understand what it does, what it will do, what it's going to help you do, etc. So please participate. Now, I wanted to start the meeting off by making sure everyone has a clear mindset, like myself just now, because my mind was just in 5 different places. Does anyone have their mind in 5 different places right now? Yes. So, first, put your phones down, put them on silent, take them off, turn them off.
Jerry?
Put them down, don't touch them.
Come on, Jerry.
All right, we're waiting. Close your eyes and think about being present, being here at this mastermind meeting. Clear your mind. All right, you guys all set? You ready for this? Little meditation, no discussions, no extra, no peanut gallery. All right. So I want to celebrate some of the things that you've achieved these past 2 weeks. We talked about doing a number of things in the past sessions, and if you haven't, if you were unable to attend the past sessions, you'll be able to get an idea through this victory lap what everyone is focusing on. So let's go around, quick lap around, pick one thing that was a victory for you in the past 2 weeks. Mary. Making the calls to people. Abby. And if you don't have one, it's okay.
Finally, putting an offer on a home where I had to buy for 4 years.
Wow. Putting a deal together. After working with a client for 4 years, putting a deal together.
I started a mailing. I sent out 200 postcards to my community.
Great. Excellent. Did you get any feedback yet? I did it just go out. Okay.
Reaching out to my old clients.
Reaching out to your old clients. Any
Let's see.
positive feedback? Good. Jane.
Prepping my clients for next year. 2 listings coming.
Excellent. 2 listings. Through her phone call, she was able to get 2 listings to talk to 2 people that were listings.
It's a funny story. This is the one who thought was going to buy my house in Florida, and they came down. Never met them before. Some of you heard the story. Never met them before. Came down. Loved the house. Unfortunately, didn't have a 3-car garage, and he's got an extra joy. But we became became fast friends, and they're gonna let me list their house in Park Ridge next year.
Excellent.
So.
Excellent. That's a great story. Julie, happy birthday, by the way.
I would say just consistently touching base with people that are looking to buy, sending them interesting listings, and I have one person that wants to actually list you on the listing side.
Okay, excellent. Good job. Bernadette.
I finally started working on putting a networking group together. I had this idea this year, in the beginning of the year, and you know, we did all the paperwork, all that stuff, and that kind of never happened. So I reached out to some people, and I have meetings scheduled with different people, and still working on it.
Excellent. So she's creating her own networking group. We talked about it, her and I sat down. We had a meeting yesterday and just came up with some ideas, going on LinkedIn, identifying some people to connect with and build your own BNI in essence. Excellent. Justin,
Followed up with past clients.
just followed up with past clients. Good
Like I
response.
said, yeah, good response. I got one yesterday that called me because she was looking for her honeymoon and her lots were frozen solid and her friend couldn't get into the house to get the dog. So she asked the lotsman that I recommended 4 years ago when he closed. And she was like, that's what just called Justin was all about. I was like, can you please tweet that?
That's
And I
awesome,
lost her.
right?
I think she was on the plane after that. So
Excellent.
hopefully she gets it when she gets back.
That's excellent. Oh, great! That's excellent. That's excellent. Following up with clients, and he wrote a contract yesterday. That's awesome. Congratulations, Ellen. No?
He took a week off.
You took a week off. You're allowed.
I started all my Moxie stuff, so
Yeah,
You
you did.
feel good?
I'm not, I wouldn't say good.
You will be by the end of the week,
you
though.
feel better that you
I feel
started.
better that I started.
All right.
I feel good when I figured out. Like Jerry.
Yes. You took his
Jerry's gonna get
steam
knocked
out.
out.
Yeah, he's gonna. Michael.
I recently been reaching out to people I went to high school and college with that are in the business, like mortgage industry, real estate and stuff. And just seeing if I can get some referrals and stuff, and seem to be going well so far.
Good. Excellent. Jerry.
1,200 calendars going out. We're just finishing up right now, getting the labels on, getting to the post office, and also I made a list of everything I need to do before the first of the year to get it done, because right now obviously we're busy but not as busy, and I got to get the mental clutter out of my mind to get
Yeah.
organized for the new year.
Good. Excellent. Anyone have any challenges that they had this past week? It's normal to have challenges, right? Personally as well as professionally. And sometimes personally affects your professionally, but does anyone have anything they want to share?
Yeah,
Sure.
well, it's just, we're always on call, and if you're thinking about you're gonna get something done at a certain time, it's guaranteed that work is gonna go at the same time, so that's why I'm trying to get as organized as I can and get things, doctor's appointments, dentist, eye doctor, all this stuff that you have to do, taxes, accountant, all that, to get it out of the way, to be prepared, because we have to work when the client wants us to work. We don't have hours,
Right.
so I'm
Right.
trying to get organized.
Good. Excellent. Anyone else? Jane.
I have a contractor that is looking for property in Glenview, and he won't look at other areas. I wish I could get him to, branch out a little bit more in Northbrook, Northfield, whatever. But if anybody has any tear downs or land that they would like to get developed, especially in East, or it doesn't make a difference, Glenview, period. Are you all of a sudden your ears perked up?
I'm gonna talk to you.
This is
See?
something that she wants to do.
This
he
is
looking
awesome. It's a connection.
Is he looking to buy the land or do a joint
They
venture?
are looking to buy land. They have, if they don't do it themselves, they have investors. So, but they will be doing the work for them. So, yeah, I mean, they're up there. They can go up from $1 to 6 zeros with it.
So do
And
they
I got a deal for you, honey.
do they want to build to resell, or do they want to build for themselves?
They will build and resell, and hopefully we'll get the listing
Good.
below.
Yeah. Good,
So it's gonna be
excellent.
spot.
They're my little,
Okay. So that's a good challenge, right?
Yeah.
And through this discussion, through our mastermind discussion, we might have two possibilities for you.
Is that on the buyer?
Did you see? Oh, that's a good job. So I sent out that email that Kevin put together, that Google Docs, buyers' wants and needs. Did you guys see that? Who hasn't seen it? It's okay. You can acknowledge me. Okay. So go on there. We keep on sending out these emails, and we will continue to send out the email with the link to the Google Docs that talks about buyers' wants and needs. It's really beneficial. It can be used in a lot of different ways. It's almost like the seller's advantage, right? You can use it, when you're talking to your sellers, saying, listen, look at all my brokers that have these buyers that are looking in the marketplace right now, right? That's what that seller advantage does. It demonstrates our website, draws people to look at properties in a particular area. So put your buyer wants and needs, because the other thing is that if Colin gets a listing that meets the needs of that individual, he can go on there, create the habit of looking on there, even when you go to list something, and say, hey, Jane, I know that you're looking for A, B, and C. I'm listing that. Just want to give you a heads up. And sometimes you can't, so this is the other aspect of it. Sometimes in our seller's best interest, we need to go live on the MLS, right, to get the most exposure. I'm not saying keep it off the market. You can ask your seller if they would allow. It's like an exempt listing or a private listing, network listing, right? But sometimes to provide the most exposure, to get the best exposure for your clients, we need to go live. So don't take it personally if the agent says, I have to go live after reviewing the various options with their client, okay? But it's a great tool, it's a great resource. And not only that, if you are trying to drum up business, right? And you're trying to try to get some opportunities going for yourself, you can go look at that list and go knock on doors yourself that are within those parameters of what those agents are looking for their buyers, right?
Yeah.
So
Super easy to use.
super easy. I'm not asking for your clients' names, your phone numbers, just basically where they're looking, what they're looking for, the condition, etc.
Great idea.
All right, so it's a live doc, so you can create, by the way, you can create a favorites on your desktop. When that link comes in, just mark it as your favorite and it will pop onto your screen, and you just click on it anytime you just want to go look at it. All right, and if you need help, with accomplishing that, just let us know. We'll help you, walk you through it.
And I'll send it out again today.
Actually, Kevin,
yeah.
can we do that on the computers in here too?
Yeah, we can put them on all the computers.
So
yeah.
why don't we'll do that as well? We'll make it a favorite on the screen so that you can just click on it and see.
Yeah, we can do
And
that.
or add or whatever.
So it's designed to be live. Okay, so you guys go on there, update it as you come along. What I'll ask is if you have a buyer that you put under contract that is no longer has a need on there, the last column all the way on the right is going to say under contract. Just put yes. I'll go in and delete it so that it's always a live, ongoing, real-time buyer wants and needs list. Otherwise, it gets bogged down and it's, in my opinion, worthless. So let's really spend the time and do it. This thing can be really good for us. Okay, it's literally pocket buyers. You're walking around with at any given time.
Right.
You can use your Remind tools to prospect. Take a look at those. Go look at there. See who's got a good sell score. Go knock on the door and say, I know a buyer who's looking in your area. You ever think about selling? Okay.
There's endless ways, that you could build your business. All right. Anyone else have challenge? Even a transaction, like I have a transaction that, we had 2 buyers and at one time and we had multiple offers, and what's the best way to handle that? I mean, it could be anything like that, so that we can all learn from one another through these experiences. That's how I've learned and be able to advise you through your stories.
I have a short sale, if anyone's looking, all the way out in Hawthorne Woods. Been under contract for 13 months. The attorney that was handling it totally dropped the ball. They're with a new attorney now. We're making progress, and the buyer just backed out.
It's crazy.
If anyone is looking for a 4,200 square foot house in Hawthorne Woods on over an acre of property with lake rights, it needs updating, but it's an unbelievable deal at under 400,000.
Okay. All right. Think about it.
Barry, you got someone?
Very.
Mary's crushing it today.
Merry Christmas. Holy smokes. Anyone else? No? Everyone's having a great time?
No. Well, for me, it's time management. It's just trying to balance the 1,000 different things I'm trying to do in a day. So I've really tried to block my time off with, okay, this time I'm going to be doing Moxie training. This times I'm going to be doing recruiting. These times I'm going to be doing family, whatever it is. So if it means I'm on my computer until 11:30 returning emails, I'm on my computer until 11:30 returning emails. But it's prioritizing what needs to get done during the day, and then the rest, like Michael said, I can shelf it. I have to return my emails, but if it's 11:30 that I return them, I return them at 11:30.
If something's urgent, you're going to get texted or phone calls. I mean, the email is probably not going to be the highest level priority, so you have time to respond to those. That leads me great discussion point. Did anyone take my challenge to journal every minute of their day for the last 2 weeks? Did anyone do that?
You know, I can stand up and say, 2 years ago, you encouraged me to go to my phone instead of writing everything in a
Yes.
calendar, which I did. But then I felt I liked to write, and it somehow makes me remember.
Okay.
So I started it's like an ongoing journal. This is probably
Yeah.
my, maybe my 7th book that I complete. I doodle in it. Any sticky notes I stick in it. It's not a calendar date. The only problem I have is sometimes when I'm going back, I can try to put dates in it. When I'm looking for something, it's there. I just have to kind of scroll through everything. But that was my answer to a lot of it's on my phone, but I do actually write stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's right. But it's helpful, right? I mean, I think.
It's very helpful. It's also a central location, so when I'm really screwed up and looking for something, usually I put it in there.
Right.
Somebody's name, contact, whatever.
Right. And so you have the book, and if there's something important that comes out of while you're doodling that needs to go into your calendar online or in Moxie, I'll keep on saying that, that needs to be transposed to your calendar, then do it. Do it at the moment. There's no better time than the moment to just take a few more seconds of your day and put it into your calendar at that point. Or, as a follow-up, you're like, if you're talking to Sally and she's your neighbor and she's like, hey, let's get together soon. And you're like, okay, how about I call you on December 14th and we'll schedule something for just after the first of the year. Well, you could write that down, but then you're going to have to go search for it. If you at that moment can go into your calendar and say, call Sally on the 14th, do that. Take that extra step. It's very helpful. Now, going back to, I'm telling you, you will be amazed. Take the next 2 weeks, grab a book like this. It could be a leather-bound journal, I don't care what it is, and write down what you did for the next 2 weeks. Will you do that? Every minute.
What's the point?
I want you to realize where you're spending your time.
But if you're so busy all the time, why do you stop and write? I don't have to do that. Really, honestly.
Yeah, everyone does. The most successful, the busiest, most successful people do it.
What I'm saying is I have something similar that Mary has.
Yeah, that's good.
But I don't journal so much, but every day I go to it and I it's almost like a list.
Yeah.
You go like what you accomplished, like that. So he
Okay,
has someone to write, like I met with Michael for 5 minutes.
It's never 5 minutes. No, but it's honestly, it's you know why? Because it's just an exercise for 2 weeks. Because we talk about time management, I have the challenge. Everybody has that challenge. If you don't have that challenge, I call BS.
I think it's like food
Plus,
journaling.
we're
You
supposed to
don't
do it
realize
on
that
my
stuff that M&M in your mouth, or when you talk to Michael, it's not that you talk to Michael, it's what you talk to
Yes.
in the journal. You wanna say that I talked to him about blah, blah, blah. Because then you might go revisit that later, and you know you talked to him on this date. So,
I will say, sometimes I feel anxious and I get overloaded.
Yeah.
And I start going this and then I have to write it, and then when I write down, I feel calmer. Like, you know
That's
what I mean?
great. That's,
Because,
yeah.
like, you know, like I'll be like, wait, I gotta call this guy for the roof, and I gotta go call my client, I have to stage this, and I forgot to follow up on him, and I have to look at the contract. And then I'm like, wait, what did I just say? And then you put it down, and you're like, okay, got it.
Exactly. And all of those things help. But you know, one of the things that I realize is that how much time that I didn't do productive,
That's what I'm trying to, like, what did you find that,
not productive activities, or choosing to do. It's like who was it? We had a speaker at one of our seminars that came out. We talked about do income generating activities in the first part of your day. Okay.
Doug Smith, I think.
Doug Smith.
Yeah.
And so, and then go pick up the laundry, go get the dog, go to the dog groomers, then go to. It's not that you don't have those other things to do in your life. We all do. I'm not saying don't do them, but if you're allocating your time where it's not effective. For example, one of the things that I would tell you to do, everybody, is when you get involved in an activity that needs your time and attention, how much time does it take for your mind to really be prepared to dive into it and to execute it? For me, it takes probably a half hour,
yeah, take like an hour.
right?
I'm serious.
I know, me too. Right, because your mind is going 500 miles an hour. So if you're jumping from activity to activity to activity, you're not as effective or efficient with what you're trying to accomplish. And so time blocking will help you achieve the clarity that you need in order to execute and be your best. It's a big deal, real big deal. So, and it's something that it's developing a habit. You can't just do it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 7 days. Sometimes I think what's this? It takes 3 weeks before you really to develop a habit.
Yeah, it's for a habit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So make yourself do that for the next 3 weeks, right? It's the best time of year to do it.
Yeah, the big thing that I picked up when we used to go to Doug Smith seminars was, and I used it when I was doing selling because I was bouncing all over the place, was I would write down my to-do list at the end of the night. Like, what do I want to do the next day? And I'd write down whatever 5 or 6 things it was. Then the exercises, go back and number them in priority, 1 to 6 or 7 or whatever it is. And then, again, take it a third step and go in and put dollar signs next to the ones that are going to generate you money. So you're sitting there and you're training your brain to go through the exercises 3 different times. Here's what I have to do, and you just write it down. And then this is what I think my priority is. Then you stop again and say, this is what I'm going to make money off of. And then forget about what the numbers were or what the other ones, and cross the ones off that aren't going to make you money. And focus on the 3 that are going to make you money.
It's like baking a cake, you know. When you first you had to follow a recipe for the first 3, 4, 5 times, whatever it was. But now you don't even need that recipe, right? You did it over and over and over, and now it's just second nature, right? You know what to put in there, what ingredients are needed, what are the steps you need to take to have an amazing cake, right? Same thing, everything. You could apply the same logic to work. Who completed the 2-page goal setting and evaluation? Okay, another thing for you to do, I emailed everybody, another thing for you to do within the next 2 weeks. If you get it done before then, we can sit down, call me up, call Kevin, both of us up, we'll sit down, we'll strategize, we'll plan, we'll evaluate, because we want to help you achieve your goals, your dreams for next year.
Is it the business plan?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I thought that was a monthly meeting, huh?
It's
It was
part
a
of it.
good start.
It's a part of it.
Oh, it's like, why don't you do like, is that?
It's different. It's a little more. There's specific questions that it asks you. All right. Let's. I want to watch this. If we can. Let's see.
It should be up there. I just don't know which one it is.
All right.
What's up? What's up? Just got done running the mountain up here in Idaho at 6,000 feet on this amazing stream, surrounded by incredible friends. So why am I?
Yeah, so this is one of the, I went to that seminar, it's growth.com, it's an organization that Brendan Burchard, everyone know who Brendan Burchard is? Right? Some of you? He's an amazing trainer, business coach, and Dean Graziosi, his background is more real estate. Brendan is more education, developing systems, processes. Can you grab those lights off on the side? And so one of the things is that I want you to also include in your routine is self-education, right? Big deal. And part of self-education is also to watch things that are not only educational but very inspirational. There is a very well-known, he does a lot of podcasts and interviews, a very well-known, famous individuals. His name is, his thing is called Impact Theory. Okay, has anyone heard of it? Impact Theory? It's this guy. He interviews the most amazing people and the amazing stories that come out of here. So you can start watching them. But he interviewed Dean and a little bit about his background in these discussions, and it's really about mindset, right? I mean, mindset is a big deal. It's only 5 minutes.
What's up? Hey, on this episode of More Than Money, I wanted to make it more about what was said. I did an incredible interview with Tom Bilyeu at Impact Theory.
Can you hear this?
Some of what came out was just raw and real, and I thought it was so important for you to see. You know, sometimes we get really cinematic. I have an incredible team.
Where's the?
Right underneath the red, right there. That's as high as it goes.
Huh. Let me get a speaker real quick, because I want you guys to hear this, and I want you guys to start listening. His last name is Bilyue of Impact Theory.
Hey, how many people are coming to Moxie Training 1 today? 1, 2, 3.
What time is it?
Ask me that.
I'm back when I get it. I'm going.
All right, so I sent out the email while Michael's getting this, while I have you guys here. So the homework, so we're breaking it into 3 different groups. Module 1 is all about getting your contacts into Moxie. Okay, so you have to watch the 15-minute video. You have to know your password to your email address, and you have to have your Moxie, you have to have your contacts in that template form that I sent you. Okay? If you don't know how to put it into the template, or you're not the most user-friendly or savvy person with Excel, just send me your contacts. I'll do it for you. Okay? I want everyone to get into the system. I will do it for you. Just download your contacts from the MLS into a CSV file. Download your contacts from Marketing Resource into a CSV file. I will put it into the right templated folder, have it ready for you to walk into the meeting. Okay? Today we're doing Module 1, which is all about getting your contacts in. We're doing it at 1 o'clock today. Tomorrow we're doing another Module 1 you could register for. That's at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And tomorrow at 12 o'clock we're doing a Module 2. Okay? 1 again is all about managing you, getting your contacts into Moxie, setting your GCI goal. Module 2 is all about organizing your contacts. Okay? What do you do after you loaded them in? Do you put them into groups? Do you sign them up for subscriptions? How do you go on from there? Okay? That's Module 2. Module 3 is going to be all about managing your deals. Okay? What do you do with your contacts after you put them into the different groups, or after you have them in an active or a pending? How do you work them through the different processes? Okay? We're breaking it into small groups of like 8 maximum is all I'm letting in, so that it's really focused on what we're trying to accomplish and get done. Okay? And I'll just keep sending out these quick sign-in web sheets for whatever works for you guys. And it'll be at your schedule. I'll just keep doing it until everybody's gone through it. Because we want
our laptops to actually do it while we're
if you have a laptop, bring your laptop to actually do it. Depending on who's coming in which session, we might do one in the large conference room. The one today, we're going to do in the resource room back here. Okay?
Is there a speaker
Just so
wire in that bag?
It may be in the
right back there. Just so that we can make sure everybody has a computer to physically work off. Okay. If everybody has laptops, then we'll go in a large conference room. If people need computers, we'll make it work. But because it's a small group, we can find the space to make it work. Okay. Oh, you fell asleep first. There you go, Junior. Look us up. These need to be plugged in under here. Yeah.
Michael, give me your light down there. Oh shit.
You guys need an audio visual guy.
Mm-hmm. It's you. So special. Fire it up. There you go. There you go.
Check it out.
Is that up to the highest? Is that?
You just ripped it
That's
up again.
worse. No, I didn't. Is that the loud as it goes?
Yeah. You can't hook up your big speaker.
Can you plug it into this, Michael?
I apologize, you guys.
Michael, plug it into this. Do you have a
can't.
cord for it? No?
No, that's the problem.
Growing up, living in a trailer park, living in a bathroom with your dad for a year.
Can you guys get closer to hear this? Because it's a great story.
I want to know, like, millionaire success happens in
And I'm really excited for you to see it, so check it out.
This says Bluetooth, right, Michael?
It is, but this computer Bluetooth? Is it?
If you want to move on to the next thing, I can try to get this hooked up.
Yeah, we're gonna get this hooked up. We're gonna move on to the next thing while Kev's gonna.
All right. Junior, switch spots with me, will you?
Yep.
Michael, I just ordered that before I even
Oh, really? It's really, yeah. So his book. So one of the things I want you to do is to really look at. I want to start a little book club. Okay. So I want you to think about getting, purchasing a book or listening to a book online. Not less than 10 pages. Yes, an audio book is great. Brendan Bouchard has High Performance Habits. Dean has Millionaire Success Habits. There's 4 disciplines of execution. These are some of the books that are excellent that will help you be better at what you do. You know, the other thing is listening to these podcasts. I'm telling you, this impact theory, some of the interviews on there, they're unbelievable. Like Richard Branson, I mean, we're talking about this guy is able to get some of the most successful individuals. A lot of, like Dean didn't finish, actually he finished high school, he didn't go to college. Neither did Richard Branson. Here's these guys that really had come from humble beginnings and just had huge successes in their life. And so it's I think one of the challenges we all face is fear, right? We don't want to try something because we're afraid to jeopardize what we already have. Is that true? Does everyone have fear? What are we fearful in our career here? What are some of the things what are you fearful? What will you share? Anyone fearful of anything? Not having all the answers. So you're afraid to put yourself in front of opportunity because you're afraid you're not going to have the answer. Is that what you mean?
Meaning like if somebody's, I mean, there's so many different scenarios for that, but you wanna make sure you always, if somebody's, you know, a customer's asking you a question, you wanna make sure you're ready.
Right. So you're fearful that if you put yourself in front of that opportunity, you might not be able to have the answers.
I'm not afraid to go in front of it, I just don't wanna not have all the answers.
Right.
I'll put myself out there and then hopefully just say I'll get back to you.
Okay, well that's good. I mean that's excellent. That's a great way of. So my fear is is to take additional chances, whether it's in my career, even when I talked about investing, getting back into buying and selling homes again for myself. You know, I got burned. I got caught up in the last downturn in the market, lost a lot of money, and I always was afraid to start doing it again. And I did really well. I made a list of all the properties, of all my buys and sells that I did over the years, okay? And then all of the different investment opportunities I put in front of other people. And I was really excited to see what I accomplished, but I felt like, wow, what happens if I would have taken the chance again and invested again in all these other opportunities that everyone else was able to take advantage of? You know, I might have lost, I don't know, pick a number, whatever it was. You know, let's just say I lost a couple $100,000, right? It's a lot of money. But I probably gave away $700,000 of opportunity to someone else because I was afraid. What are you afraid of? What are you fearful? Maybe not afraid is the right word. What are you fearful of in this business? What's prohibiting from you achieving what you want in this business? Technology. Okay.
I need to get tech savvy.
Okay.
Mr. Rhines.
Yep. And we're going to help you. We'll help you do that.
In the 4 years I was gone and had my license on, the market, the industry has changed overnight. Overnight.
Yeah.
And I was doing really well when I left. And, you know, I have to come back and it's like I'm the stupidest kid on the block. Everybody else is, you know, miles ahead of me because my daughter teases the daylights out of me. Well, excuse me, but, you know,
Yeah.
I wasn't in it then. So now I've got to get back and focus on learning what's going on. Mastermind, you know, Oxyworks, get into this.
So my challenge to you is today, set up a time with Kevin to do exactly that.
I'll go to Moxie.
You go to Moxieworks, but it's an ongoing process, right? This learning and this learning curve with regards to technology and execution, it takes time. What else?
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure.
I have so many opportunities I can put myself in front of if I just wasn't afraid that
They're going to say no.
no, it's not even that they'll say no, it's that I won't produce the results that I've produced in the past.
Right.
And
Yeah.
my statistics and my numbers will fall, and I'm afraid that will find failure.
Yeah. And that's very, I think, very reasonable to think that. I mean, I heard a yeah, right? I mean, I think a lot of people feel that way. One thing that you have to have is the confidence in yourself. You're not, even if you guide people and advise people today, I mean, look what happened, right, after the, 08, 09, what happened. We sold people homes in 05, 06, 07, right? And all those people that bought back then, a lot of them got in a situation where they couldn't sustain where they were living. And some of us feel a little guilty about it, right? We put them there. But we didn't. I mean, no one knew what was going to happen. And at the time, you were guiding them and helping them make the decision, the right decision for them and their family, based on the information that you had. No one blames you, right? And that goes, I think, moving forward, you just got to remind yourself that everyone that we work with is good-hearted, wants to do the right thing, will stand by their client, and make sure they guide them through making great decisions. No one's going to intentionally hurt somebody. So,
Maybe one person.
maybe one person, but we're doing it with, you know, who we are is with the integrity and our knowledge and integrity that we display every day. Go out there knowing that why give those opportunities to other brokers, okay? Why not you? You know you're going to do the best job possible and you're going to represent their best interest all the time. Why let someone else jump in front of those opportunities? One of the things that, you know, we're going to finish up here is I really want you to really evaluate your time, work on your goals, think about that roadmap, how you're going to get there. Grab one of us when you're ready to sit down and help you through it. It's a process. You know, Justin, Kevin, and I have been meeting on every other week, and I don't know, has it been helpful?
Yeah, I'm taking steps I never would have taken otherwise.
Yeah. It's the
So,
accountability, and that's,
I don't see results yet, but I will.
yeah. Oh, totally. And accountability, you know, is a scary word, right? And so that's probably one of my other fears is accountability. You know, finding the time. I'm accountable to you. I'm accountable to Nancy. I'm accountable to the company. There's a lot of accountability. And there's very specific things that you don't know that Kevin and I have to do on a daily basis in order part of our job, in addition to helping you and support you in whatever those needs are. You know, they got a moment, it's got a transaction issue, whatever the case may be. And so accountability, you know, when I go to my reviews, I tell Nancy, I say, like, be brutally honest. Be like, tell me exactly where I'm failing in your eyes. Because I want to be better. And I think that's a good way of looking at accountability, is for tell me how much you want to be challenged. Tell me how brutally honest you want me and Kevin to be with you.
Not at all. Wow.
But I mean,
Scary.
it is scary. It is scary.
Because we have a perception of ourselves and our accomplishments.
Right. And they're amazing, but it doesn't mean that you can't be, you want to do better, right? You want to be better. But how do you be better if you don't change or have someone from the outside give you that kind of information?
So like, I think what Justin's saying too is kind of a comfort zone. And when I was away in Mexico, I'll tell you a story. I haven't dove in 15 years, and my wife and I are certified. And she said, "I'm not going to dive. I'm just not going to do it." And I said, "I'm going to go scuba diving." And I went with my 2 sons and my neighbor's son. And we were with another couple, and they were at the top of the water, and they wimped out. But the 2 11-year-olds and the 12-year-olds beat me down to the bottom, and they were down for 45 minutes with me.
Everyone wants to be.
And everybody went, but I think because they didn't know the fear, or they didn't think about it or overthink it, they were just diving. They weren't thinking about sharks. They weren't thinking about anything else. They just did it. And I think we kind of put our own fears in front of that mental block, and all the adults went down on me.
Yeah, they don't know different, right?
They didn't know any different.
They don't know any different, and it goes back to what Jill and I were talking earlier in my office. You know, when you feel you have something to lose, you're like, wow, how did these people accomplish these crazy, amazing things, like these accomplishments? A lot of them, they're like, they came from nothing. I think they said 40% of the millionaires in the United States came from nothing. It's because they had nothing to fear. They had everything to go, right? It's.
I was thinking back to things I did my first 6 months in business that I would do if you paid me to do it.
Yeah.
But I probably would be more successful if I did them today than I was back then.
Right. Right.
Showing people rentals in the middle of the night.
No, it's true.
But what I wanted to just tap on what Jerry said, it's like you have a comfort level and you have a model, and it works, right, Justin? You have your model that works, but to grow you have to go outside inside that model.
Yep.
Right.
And that is extremely uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like every time I like, if I think if I want to expand my team, or like want to add, you know, you're like, what? No, it's not working. People want me, and this is, I know, you know, you're going through your own paperwork, and you understand what you write and what everything means, but you sort of have to
Yes.
out of that comfort
Yes.
to grow, and that is really
It's really hard.
because you are
Hard.
doing well. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So we're gonna finish up with this. Are you ready for this video?
Yeah, we're good. You can move this thing anywhere you want.
All right. Well, it's pretty loud. So.
I muted it, so.
This is the right video, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I can't. Here we want. Is it?
This is the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Listen, everybody.
Hey,
Don't. Hey.
on this episode of More Than Money, I wanted to make it more about what was said. I did an incredible interview with Tom Bilyeu at Impact Theory, and some of what came out was just raw and real, and I thought it was so important for you to see. You know, sometimes we get really cinematic. I have an incredible team building great videos, and other times it's just about the content, and I'm really excited for you to see it, so check it out.
All right, today's guest is a ridiculously successful real estate entrepreneur who took himself from a childhood full of crippling poverty to building a mega multi-million-dollar empire. Help me in welcoming the best-selling author of Millionaire Success Habits, Dean Graziosi.
Good to hear him, man. Thank you. Thank you. That guy sounded awesome when you were just talking
He
about.
is awesome. You're gonna love him. I can't wait for you to meet.
Awesome.
So, man, I want to know, like, it is crazy to me growing up, living in a trailer park, living in a bathroom with your dad for a year. It's pretty crazy. How do you go from that, while still in your teens, to beginning a really just incredible entrepreneurial journey?
So in 10th grade, I decided I wasn't going to college. Wasn't that smart. I had dyslexia. Family didn't have money. None of my family ever went to college. I just wanted out of school. So my dad owned a collision shop. It was called Paul Graziosi Auto Body. And he never made more than 30 grand a year. I told you, he worked really hard, but not profitable, just worked hard. So my dad said, if you're not going to go to college, I'll make you a 25% partner in the collision shop in 11th grade if you can get out by 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock, I start. 11th and 12th grade, I took like ceramic, gym, and English, and I was out, and I was at the collision shop. So in 11th grade, in this little town I grew up of 8,000 people, a little town called Marlboro, New York, the collision shop sign, he switched it, and it became Paul and Dean Auto Body. And I'm like, that was huge for me. And I worked like my dad did. I hustled. I went there at 11 o'clock. I worked every night. And my dad was like, hey, our business is doing better because of you. I was better with the clients. I was better. I brought more people in. I hustled. So now all my friends are going off to college or going into what they're doing. Like, you're not going to college? Like, no, I got this collision shop. Like, I felt like a little sense of pride. Like I was making movement. And by then I was giving my mom some money. I was giving my grandmother some money. And had this evolution. I felt good. So about 2 years out of high school, my dad goes through his 4th divorce, and it hits him really hard. And it hit him so hard that he checked out. And he said, hey, I'm not going back to the collision shop. I'm not paying the rent. It's done. And I was like, at that phase of my life, Tom, I was embarrassed more than anything. Like, I remember that point because I was like, I'm not going to college, but I own Paul and Dean Auto Body with my dad. And it was like in my head, not realizing I'm 20 nothing, I'm like, life's over. I have no money in the bank. Life is just screwed. And I started telling myself that story. And I lost the spark I'd had since I was about 12. Like since 12, I'm like, I'm not this smart, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And I lost it. And I'm going to friends like, hey, if your dad or anybody you know needs a car fix, I'm doing it out of my garage. And I know my friends were like, But I remember being in there and saying to myself, like, what the hell am I doing telling myself this crap? Like, if I feel this way, I'm going to be my dad. And I remember at that moment, I changed the story, and I started thinking to myself, and it didn't happen overnight, so this is what I want to encourage you. When you find the bad story, find a way to just reverse the whole thing. I'm like, no. Because I don't have a college degree, I'm going to fight, and I'm going to do this. Because I was always small, I'm going to do this. Because I have no money, I'm going to do this. Because my friends think I can't, I'm going to do this. And all of a sudden, I started changing the story, not overnight, but over weeks. It became my empowering story. I wasn't looking at a deficit. I'm like, screw you guys. You think I'm not going to do this because I don't have what you have? I'm gonna blow right past you, whether that's a good thought or not. At the time, it served me. What stands between us and where we want to go is never what we think it is. It's not the economy. It's not the president. It's not that somebody already dominated the health food industry or dominated Facebook advertising or dominated TV advertising where there's no room left. It's never that. It's always the story we tell ourselves and why we can't achieve that. Find what that story is and think that story, those 2 sentences, is the thing holding you back. Do you really want to give that story that much power? We're going to be 90 laying in a bed looking up like before we know it. And you want to think, I squeezed all I could out of life, or did I let just beliefs that other people gave me hold me back? And then the other thing too is that there's a balance between, you know, just making money or furthering your business, and also knowing internally what your definition of success is. You know, there might be something that makes you a lot of money, but it robs your soul. So there's that balance, and I think that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in your 20s, and maybe not in your 30s. At least it didn't for me. I was just fighting to be successful in my 20s and 30s. But at this phase, I wish someone would have grabbed me at 25 and said, "You're going to make all the money you want. You'll have all the success you want. Make sure your soul is aligned with that money."
So I mean, it's just so true. I mean, it's go ahead.
I was just gonna say that made me think of, Jill and I were talking about when we were booking the Christmas party, the lady at Potato Creek Johnny's was so excited to try and do this, and I think it's a little bit above what they're used to. So they are going out of their way, and it made me walk away and think, my God, the attitude difference between the other places that we called that were like, yeah, it'll cost this much per person, blah, 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 blah. And do I go into listings like that? Yeah, it should be like this. Or do I like really want your business? And I can't believe what a difference it made.
Yeah.
So we're going to have fun there.
That's a great story, and it's so true. It is so true. You know, your attitude going into a deal or working with somebody or helping somebody, you know, you're going in a listing and then they want 500 and it's worth 400. We're like, you know, when I talk to clients, you know, when I have an occasion to talk to some of your clients and they're pissed because they're not getting marketed. And I'm like, well, where are you not getting marketed? Let's review this together. Maybe there's something you're missing here, you know. And I talk to them like that, and they'll say, well, I don't get newspaper advertising, and I already have pulled up all the newspaper advertising we've done for them, okay? Yeah. And then they're like, well, where else? Well, I'm not, you know, on all these websites. Oh, you're on 350 different websites. Which website did you not see yourself on? You know? And I'm like, they're like, and they'll say, well, you know, my agents, all they want is a price reduction. Well, maybe a price reduction is necessary, right? If your house hasn't sold, let's review the information together. And they're like, well, I'm not reducing my price. I said, you know what? We're going to sell it. I don't know when we're going to sell it, but we're going to sell it. You hired us for advice and direction to sell your home. Well, your agent put the price on the house, and we said, well, let's get the agent. Let's have this group conversation about that. And maybe you told them it was $450 at the time, and now it's really $400, and they wanted $500, right? And you're in the middle.
That sounds right.
Well, guess what? The market changes. Right. At the time when they took the listing a year ago, $450 was the right price, and $500 was a little bit of a stretch, but we took it based on that. So let's review the facts together. And they're like, okay, you know, and it's just talking to them through it. But there's nothing more than we're more excited about is to represent you and get your house sold for you. So no matter how challenging it is, or no matter, you know, where your mind is at right now, let's work together to get that done. And it's about positive, those discussions, you know, be ready for those tough discussions, but always be in a very, you know, uplifted mindset, attitude. Be prepared. Be prepared for those discussions. So spend a little time. I want to hear some more stories about, you know, what you've watched in the last 2 weeks. Watch some of these impact theories, and I want you to share with us what you took away from some of those. Maybe it's a book or whatever, it's one of these podcasts, and what you took away from it. because we all want to learn from one another and try to apply some of these different techniques in your business. Apply them. And I'm telling you, you will be impacted. You will see a shift in your business. There's no doubt in my mind. So, does anyone have anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, you know, I was watching a documentary about Bruce Springsteen, and he didn't break in until like in his mid-30s. But I don't know if everybody knows that song "Blinded by the Light" by Manfred Mann.
Yeah.
He wrote that song, and they said that it's
what?
But you can't perform it. You don't have a good enough voice. You're not a good enough musician.
Well, his version is crappier.
And so he sold that song to Manfred Mann, and it was #1 for like a half a year.
Wow.
And he said, I'm just going to keep going with my career. And now look at who's Manfred Mann compared to compared to him.
Right.
But in the beginning, they told him he couldn't do it.
That's a great story, and you hear about all these stories, right? Of these people over, the last couple hundred years. Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, and all the defeats that they had. If they stopped and let that defeat them, right? We would not have the history or the background or their inspiration to lead us in our lives. So keep that in mind. Keep on plugging along. Be the best you can be, and don't join the army.
Okay. All right.
What time's that meeting?